Hello, and thank you for giving us another opportunity to spend some time with you on Stairway to Health, brought to you by Health Experts Canada. We've got some great ideas, new information, and hopefully a few laughs for you today. Who knows, if you're not careful, you may learn something.
Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Stairway to Health podcast. We are your hosts, Frank Pirri and
I'm Marilyn Mitchell.
And together we are Health Experts Canada. Health Experts Canada has been around for over 20 years now, and our vision really is to instill healthy behaviors and lifestyle patterns in the lives of busy professionals using the foundations of functional wellness. So I was born into this industry, third generation, born into a produce family, Whole Foods, open air fruit markets, and gradually transitioned into more of the vitamin, mineral, herbal space. My specialty, I ended up practicing and specializing in sport sciences and nutrition, working with athletes over many years. And of course, your background is quite interesting, Marilyn. So why don't you tell people how you got into this?
Well, I wasn't born into this. I've got a number of things that I've tried in my life so far, anywhere from working for a major league ball team to working for radio stations, just, whatever seemed to suit me at that time. But at one point, I was working in the medical profession and dealing with patients every day and finding out what they didn't know about their health. So when that happened, I figured there's got to be a better way. So I decided to go back and become a holistic nutritional therapist, trying to help people avoid getting sick. So having said that, Frank and I both met each other on a point where we were both interested in vitamins and sports nutrition. And we sort of started our company based on that. And here we are many years later.
It has been an exciting ride. It certainly has. And one of the things that sets us apart, I think, from a lot of the health coaches out there in this space, and certainly a lot of the lifestyle health and wellness management companies out there, is that we really do focus on individual attention, right? The individual client, the needs of the individual, very specifically, as opposed to, a cookie cutter program. We designed something very specific years ago based on my own personal life challenges. And I think that's what makes us a little more unique.
I think so. I think that that's what we have to offer. We get very personal with our clients. We get to know them, their families, their whole lifestyle, and you really have to do that in order to find out from someone what will work for them, what time they get up in the morning, what they have to eat, what kind of meals they have to prepare for the rest of the family if they have one. So when you work all that into thinking about them and their being our priority, yeah, that's what makes us different.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's really important that people out there really understand that. Now, one of the ways that we do that is through a signature system that you and I developed after, as I said, my own personal health challenges. The signature system is called the State of Shock Success Program. And it was quite interesting how that name came about, because if you remember, I think I came to you all excited one day because in the middle of the night, I had woke up in this literal state of shock because my health was in a downward spiral. And I didn't really know how I was going to accurately address the situations at hand. But I had very close family members, 3 in a row, including my own father, suffer real health concerns and health risks, all of which landed them in hospital. And I honestly felt that being the eldest child in my family, I was next. So how I was going to see a pathway out of that. I think it really, that's what got the ball rolling. What was I going to need to do in order to get my health on the right track? And it started with a lot of foundational work. I already had a background in nutrition and supplementation, as did you by this point. So we really put our minds together and created this program, taking things step by step, one thing at a time. And lo and behold, it was a very successful, thank goodness, transition for me. Uh, and we then saw the value in what it could bring to some of our clients moving forward. But that signature system has really been the foundation for our company for all these years, has it not?
Yeah, I think so. And again, I go back to saying that it's because it's an individual system that we make for each client. It's not something that we just hand them a book and say, you might be page 14. I mean, we try very hard to do that. And the same as you were trying to find a way to make yourself healthy and not fall into your family's difficulties that they had with their health. I think after working in the medical profession and doing pre-ops for patients and things like that, working in busy doctor's office and specialist office, I found that people just didn't know what anything about their health. They were just following because their neighbor had told them to do something, or they had read somewhere or something. They were so confused that my path, I guess, was to try and help these people get what was important to them.
Sure, absolutely. I would honestly say that why we do what we do, it's really to help simplify what true health and wellness is for people. There's a lot of confusion out there in the marketplace. And unfortunately, whether it's fad diets, whether it's, fad supplementation, whether, oh my goodness, it gets to be incredibly confusing for the individual, for the everyday person. So I think simplifying health is what we're all about, taking things back to basics, and reteaching the true foundations that create a legacy, for people of long-term optimal health and well-being. That really is our purpose. That's what we're all about. That's why we're here, and that's why we do what we do. We offer a lot more, though, than just our State of Shock signature program where people would work one-on-one with us. We've actually written some books, have we not?
Yes, we have. And it's funny because as much as we are in a computerized world, and everybody wants to see things on their phones or on their desktops or whatever, it's amazing to me how many people still want to touch and feel the book. They want to be able to bend the corners over. They want to be able to highlight what they're wanting to remember. And the books have been far more popular than I thought they were going to be. So we've had to it was just a different way of doing it. That's
Definitely
all.
a very different approach. We thought everybody was going to want the digital download
Yes.
copy,
Yeah.
and learned very quickly that people are far more tactile than we gave them credit for. So we wrote our first book, which was Season Appropriate Supplementation, or Your Guide to Season Appropriate
Yeah.
Supplementation. And that gave people a fairly good overview of like the 6 pillars of nutritional supplementation. And then, of course, we ventured into lifestyle, dietary lifestyle programs under the Healthier You banner. So we created the Healthier You 28-day meal plans for people, following 3 major categories. And we quickly learned which ones did better than others. But we do have some experience there. And I'd like to think of what we do as really having created a toolbox, right? A toolbox of health success for people to dive into. What's great is we now, in the online space, are running online challenges We have our 7-day metabolic activation challenge, which we run several times throughout the year, and we're getting great results with clients through that in a group setting. So it's not that we don't do group work. We most certainly do, and we've got some exciting things planned and coming up over the next several months. But we now have so much available to offer our clients and to create that simplified level of health that I think people are really looking for, something easy for them to follow, right?
Well, I think that what's important is to know that, I mean, I can go to the grocery store every week, and while I'm waiting in line to cash out, find a different magazine. Well, let me rephrase that. It's the same magazine with different articles every week on the cover of how you're going to lose weight or how you're going to look younger.
Right, exactly. Everybody's got a different take on it. We like to call them a lot of these programs that are out there for people. We call them cookie cutter programs, where it's one program and it's supposed to be that one size fits all approach to people. And the reality is, over the last 20 years, we've seen a lot of these programs come and go. And we always joked with each other that there's an underlying theme to each and every one of them that is actually the same when you cut through a lot of the marketing jargon. Many of them are just teaching and reteaching the same old thing over and over and over again, but trying to package it a little differently. And we're not packaging anything different. We're actually just taking people back to true fundamental instruction when it comes to food, nutrition, supplementation, body movement, stress management, and all of the components that work together to get people to that legacy of health they're looking for. So, I mean, I know why we do what we do. We love the success stories. We love seeing the results that our clients get. And we'll keep working, I'm assuming, towards achieving those goals as long as people continue to want to work with us. So that's sort of who we are and what we do and why we do what we do.
Absolutely.
But we're really excited about this podcast. It's a new venture for us. And I think moving forward, we're going to have an audience out there learning an awful lot without getting too technical and bringing a lot of the current information that's out there to light, right?
Mm-hmm.
And discussing some of these more current topics. So.
And we'll get some other people who know, as much as, maybe even a little bit more than we do about some of the things in the specific topics. And we can have them come in and talk with us about various categories of things that I think people will be interested in. I think it's something that a lot of people are looking for, an easy, understandable way of sort of going through all this crap and just getting to the heart of what it is.
Yeah.
What's better, what's not, we'll get into that.
Absolutely,
we'll do that.
we will. Yeah. And I think it's great that we've built such a large network of people that we work with over the last 20 years that it's going to be exciting to reach out to some of them and bring them in on this podcast and bring those differing, viewpoints.
Oh, sure. We don't have to agree with every single person we bring in, but we certainly have to let the information that they have sort of give them to the people to make their own decisions. That's all.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Well, I know for one, we've heard a lot of people joke that we've been in business together and had this partnership for, I think, going on 25 years now. And
yes, I started when I was 10.
Yeah,
and I was very, very good at 10 years old.
And some people might even argue that it's lasted longer than most marriages. But the truth is, I absolutely love and enjoy working with you and have for many years and look forward to many more years of working together. So we look forward to all of you listeners joining us a couple times a week here on the Stairway to Health podcast. And until next time, enjoy. Have a healthy day, everyone.
So that's all the time we have today, but there's still so much more to talk about and learn. Head over to healthexpertscanada.com for more ideas on healthy living, and don't forget to like, download, and share this podcast with your friends, just for the health of it.